Hi everyone and welcome. This is Maio from Yamaha, and I'm here with the DTX-MULTI-12 or DTX-M12 percussion module and pad from Yamaha. It's a really great, actually outstanding percussion instrument or drum instrument, depending on how you use it. And right out of the box you get what is the actual multi-pad. You have 12 pads, or 12 trigger zones, you could say, each one capable of triggering 4 different layers, or up to 4 different layers. So not 8, not 9, but 12 different pads, and you get tremendous versatility because of the layers. And so you can either trigger sounds in a single shot. You can layer 4 different layers if you want to. You can do dynamic stacking, which means different sounds will play depending on how hard you hit the pad. And you can also do alternating. So if you wanted to do any melodies, you can do up to 4 different notes per pad, which is really cool. Just accessory to have for either an acoustic drummer who's looking to hybridize their kit, or if you just want a small footprint percussion and drum instrument, you can do that too. Now, in the performance video you saw, I not only have the pad, but I also have the optional PS940 percussion stand and the MAT1 pad attachment, basically. That goes underneath the DTX-MULTI-12 to attach to the hex rod on the PS940. Now, if you already have any of our acoustic kits with hex rods for your toms, you can just basically stick this onto one of those if you wanted to just quickly hybridize your kit. You also in the video saw me triggering some sounds with my right foot, and what I have for that is a KP65 kick tower, but you can use either that or a KU100 silent kick tower, and if you wanted to add additional control over any parameter in the module, and sometimes you can use it for a hi-hat if you want to, or you can use it for any effects parameters, would be the HH65 additional percussion, foot controller. Now, besides what you get with it and some of the accessories I mentioned, you actually have additional inputs on the back of the unit, which are really great. So if you wanted to add up to 4 different single zone pads and then 1 3-zone pad, so we actually make snare pads that are the 3-zone or cymbals that are 3-zone, you can hook those on here and just basically have your own little portable kit and customize it however you want. It's quite versatile, really. In addition to over 1,000 drum and percussion sounds that are on the unit, and over 200 keyboard sounds from our own keyboard libraries, you have the ability to load in your own sounds. We have 64 megabytes of internal memory, so you can load in your own one-shots, your own sampled kits. You can load in some loops if you want to, trigger them with any of the pads. So it's really versatile. You also get a lot of built-in effects, and you can mix and match how you do effects per pad if you wanted to. In terms of sensitivity, you saw some of the examples I was playing with my hands, some examples I was playing with the sticks. You have 5 different sensitivities from finger all the way to stick. If you're a hard player, you can set it to where it'll respond the way you want to. Or if you're softer, if you want to do some tabla or congas, you can do finger sensitivities too, enhanced sensitivities. So really versatile. Another feature that's really cool, for instance, I have the conga kit right now up. I can just do a conga sound if I wanted to. If I hold down another pad, I trigger a different sound. So there's tons of versatility. This is just one example. But in a nutshell, that is the kit. Now, this has become very popular with people who play for theater, in the orchestra pit, for people who are in pop bands and they want to be able to access a lot of electronic sounds or just trigger loops. Also, producers or people who work within loops within their computer software. You do have a USB output for your computer or for an iOS device that would receive MIDI input. And since each one of these pads does 4 different MIDI notes pretty much, you can trigger different loops in your software if you wanted to very easily and very efficiently, because it's all, instantaneous transfer of information. Now, we talked a lot about what the DTX-MULTI-12 module can do on its own. Now, if you happen to be an iPad or iPad mini owner, so an iOS iPad, obviously, you can actually just use a USB cable and a Lightning to USB adapter to hook into your iPad, and then we have an application, a free application called DTX-M12 Touch or DTX-MULTI-12 Touch. You can download that for free, and that will just give you a visual interface basically with which to work with on your DTX-MULTI-12. So as you see here, you get all 12 pads. You get you can assign any name to each of the pads depending on what sound you put there if you customized it. And you'll get different colors depending on what the function is. So if you're just triggering a voice, you'll have one color. If you're triggering a pattern, which is just a backing kind of instrument track, you'll get a different color. You can do with any music that's on your iPad or that's in the cloud, you can actually trigger also with the pad in what's called App Audio File Play, and that's pretty much the only feature that's added on with the iPad. Everything else is just kind of user interface related. You also see all those additional inputs that I mentioned on the side, so you can assign sounds if you do add any additional triggers via the app as well. Now, if we go into the mix window, you can actually mix your kit. So depending on all the different sounds you may have or patterns, you can pan, you can adjust levels, you can go into your effects area and assign your effects, and these are effects from wahs, phasers, flangers, a lot of creative, cool effects. And as I mentioned before, if you do have the H365 continuous controller accessory, you can change a lot of these parameters in real time, which is really great. And you can change trigger sensitivities, as I mentioned, per pad on this fairly easily as well. So let's go back to the main screen. And again, you can save these, you can work offline, load all the kits onto your DTX-MULTI 12 when you get to the gig. Just added versatility for iPad and iPad mini owners. So again, in summary, we have 12 different triggers, 4 layers per trigger, all these additional accessories you can add on. You can pretty much make this your own and use it for your, whatever application you might need a percussion controller or percussion pad. Great sounds included. You can add on your own sounds, own loops. If you happen to have an iPad or iPad mini, you have the extra addition of the iOS DTX-MULTI 12 Touch app. Really, really great, really powerful musical instrument, the DTX-MULTI 12 from Yamaha. Thank you for watching and have a great day.